ये लाइट जला दी।
A very warm good afternoon. We from the All India Insolvency Professionals Association, NCLT Kolkata Bar Association, and of course, the MSME Development Forum and all other organizations. And in fact, we also would like to extend our warm greetings to JIPA Professional Association and also the Association of Practicing Cost Accountants, New Delhi, the Chartered Accountants Association, Jalandhar. And in fact, let me extend a warm greetings to all of you for really joining us for this very important session, which is going to dive a little deeper than what we see on the surface to let you know what are the important changes that has happened on the 18/9/2023 with regard to the three regulations, the CIRP regulations, the regulations pertaining to the insolvency professionals, and the one pertaining to the insolvency professional agencies. Why it is important to also understand what has happened as changes in IPA regulations is because it is also directly concerning us as insolvency professionals. So it is important for us to just see what are the changes that has occurred and happened. As we have always been changing, seeing that there is always a changing landscape in different regulations, and now we're also foreseeing some very important changes in the code. So I think change is the only constant in life, and especially when it is IBC, I think change is really the only constant, and we need to really live up with this change, a very palpable change that keeps on happening, and actually it enables us to be on our toes all the time. As IPA, we've also tried to always keep ourselves in tandem with what is happening in the arena of insolvency, if not in any other subject. That is our forte. So we've always tried to keep ourselves abreast as to what is happening. And maybe towards the end, it may be a little late to mention, but we from the side of the entire executive committee and the president himself here, Mr. Manoj Kumar Anand, we appeal and we also request all of you to please become the esteemed members of IPA so that we take this cause forward. With this, let me first thank all of you. It's very, for us, the speaker, the chief guest is, of course, all in its very important place. But the most important place that anyone occupies is you. So thank you so much for being present here. We have our president, Mr. Manoj Kumar Anand, who will be taking up the CIRP regulations. We have our vice president, Mr. Nilesh Sharma, who will also be taking up the insolvency CIRP regulations with Mr. Manoj Anand. Today, our chief guest is Shri Mukul Sahai, who is the GM of PNB, the Zonal Recovery Center, Delhi Zone. We are very... Sorry, Manoj, you could keep yourself. Yeah. Thank you so much for keeping yourself there. We also thank Mr. Mukul Sahai for being here with us. We also see Shri SM Gupta ji, who is the president of the NCLT Kolkata Bar Association, to have joined us. And of course, all of you. So without much ado, our sessions are always crisp and without any formality. So we straight away get into the changes that Mr. Manoj Anand fondly talks about. Or else if he feels that no, we should straight away start with the CIRP regulations, he may do so. But before that, may I request at least Mr. Gupta, who's present here on behalf of one of the organizations, to give his opening remarks, post which we will request Shri Mukul Sahai ji to give his also remarks, his views and observations. Yes, Mr. SM Gupta ji.
Thank you, Mamta. I wish to welcome all the dignitaries and all the others who have joined this meeting with such a short notice on a very, very important subject. You know, I am thankful to Mamta and Mr. Manoj Anand that every other day they organize meetings for imparting knowledge to all of us. And we get to know so much from their deliberations that I am really grateful to Mamta and Anandji and others who are taking so much of pains to organize these meetings. And I once welcome everyone to this meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta, for your kind presence. I think Mr. Sahai is yet to join, Mr. Anand.
He just called me up. He says that he'll be joining in 3-4 minutes, and he is doing something very urgent on his part there. He'll be joining us within 4-5 minutes. And Mr. Nilesh has also joined us.
Right.
Nileshji, we welcome
I've
you.
acknowledged
You can
his
have
presence.
2-3 words.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. And I also welcome everyone on behalf of IPA, Mamta ji, Manoj ji, Gupta ji, and all the participants. At very short notice, I think they have taken time out of their busy schedule, and I think our chief guest, he is still to come. He will be.
Yeah, he just called you up. He says that he'll be joining us in 3-4 minutes, and I think before he joins us, we can start the meeting, and
Yes.
the moment he joins, then we can take in between him.
Okay. So I think, yeah, Mamta ji.
Yes,
Mamta
without
ji,
much
please.
ado, yes, without much ado, I'm grateful that we all understand that we just need to be crisp and get going. So, Mr. Manoj Anand, I give the floor to you. You could please start with the CIRP regulation changes.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Thank you. I think my screen is visible now.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
This is before I reach to the topic, let me little bit share about our IPA, what we have been doing and what our planning is. I'll be sharing, taking 4-5 minutes. This is our core governing body committee meeting committee. Nilesh ji, our vice president, Mamta ji, as ever, is our secretary, and Navneet ji, our treasurer. And other our managing committee members are Mr. Amit, Mr. Tarun Banga, and Mr. Bajinder Kumar. We are hosting all these meetings quite a long time now. I thought of giving the synopsis or events organized by IPA since approximately last 1.5 years. This is the list prepared by our office. I'm just sharing it with you. Approximately during the last 1.5 years, we have held 42 meetings, either singly or jointly with others. And if you want to see, any of the topics which are of interest to you, you can go to the YouTube channel and see all the past meetings therein. The address of the YouTube channel is given there. You can copy and paste it there. In fact, with invitation, it was also there. But still, if you want, you can, do paste from here and look into it. In fact, we were having some international presence also. On 5th of August, I representing IPA. In fact, I representing our Institute of Chartered Accountants of India on IBC, delivered a lecture at Singapore, representing our country on behalf of representing ICAI, and ICAI was asked by our country to ask investors to come to India, and for that purpose we were having a 2-day seminar there, and I was one of the speakers there. We made our IPA to be international also. Okay, now let's start today's analysis of CIRP regulation amendment, which has come as on 18th of September 2023. I'll be taking up half of the amendment. Rest of the half shall be taken by Nilesh ji. And there are other, as Mamta ji told just now, that there are other 2 amendments also relating to insolvency professionals and agencies that will be taken up at the end by Mamta ji. IBBI wide notification number so and so, dated so and so, has brought changes in the corporate insolvency resolution process. These are briefly analyzed in my coming slides. What I mean to say is that IBBI has brought some very, very good changes. We need to study it. And as an IP or even other professional also, we shall feel happy that a lot of things has been streamlined and a lot of things has been given to us also. But at the same time, some setbacks are also there. For example, that CIRP now is subject to audit. We IPs do feel that we are already having a lot of controls there, but what lawmaker thinks fit for the economy, he goes for that, and accordingly he has made this thing there. again, what changes has been brought there. If I sum up all the changes, genesis of all these changes are detailed the process of taking custody and control of assets and record. It has been prescribed by introducing Regulation 3A. Reduced burden of adjudicating authorities for delays claim on adjudication. Claim has always been some sort of tension between RP, claimant, and even adjudicating authority also. Adjudicating authority has many a time tell us to accept late claims also, but we are bound by our, strictly bound by our regulation, and this particular process has also been streamlined. Yes, this is the biggest change. Authorized representative role and responsibilities has been changed. It has been changed a lot. Their fees has been enhanced a lot. Now they are entitled for other fees also. As far as responsibility is concerned, because I'm presently handling one assignment there. Responsibilities, I should say that responsibilities earlier were being done in the same way. Only thing is now it has been brought in the books, and it has been made remunerative also by doing by having something there, and that now you can be paid for your the meeting with the COC members also of that particular class. Pre-process audit, yes, this is something new. We feel that we are heavily controlled, but even then our regulator thinks that if you are doing the audit is required as far as CIRP process is concerned. In fact, it is not a CRIP audit. It is basically audit of the IP. We shall learn about it from Nileshi in my later slides. Information procedure spec form G and H has also been a little bit enhanced or streamlined as per the requirement of the law. Debt assignment information has also been incorporated, and details of chronology of debt default and limitation along with evidence in case of application filing section 7 or 9 has also been brought there. The basic purpose of all this is there so that there is a big criticism, in fact, by us also and by many others also, that adjudicating authority is taking a lot of time in admitting the application. Just to cut that delay, some procedural specs has been introduced, which I think will go a long way in reducing admission time. Now let's see all these changes slide by slide. Okay, I've been dealing with my first the change of regulation 2D. A new regulation 2D has been introduced. If you go with the background of regulation 2D, I would like to share that regulation 2 deals with the definition. Its scope is being increased as per experience of adjudicating authority and acceptance of application. If we remember that, I think when first amendment was being brought in the CRIP regulation, there were two sub-regulations were introduced. Sub-regulation 2A and 2B was brought. 2A was dealing with financial creditors, whereby when FC filed an application under Section 7, it was not mandatory, but he was required to state, give banker's book and something like that. And in the case of Section 9 application, GSTR 1, GSTR 3B, etc., was required to be filed there. But there is a big difference in the case of 2A, which was applicable to Section 7 application. It was not mandatory. But as far as Section 9 application is concerned, which was in sub-regulation 2B, it was mandatory. And now what changes has been brought? Now the new sub-regulation 2D has been introduced, which prescribes filing of evidence relating to debt, like chronology of the debt, default, including the date when the debt become due, date of default, and dates of part payments, if any, date of lost acknowledgement of debt, and the limitation applicable. This has been made applicable for both application under Section 7 or 9. This is I have from my side. No more elucidation. Basically, अब जो भी application हमारे यहाँ से जाएगी, उसके साथ हमारे को ये चीजें देनी होगी. In fact, what I feel is that all these things were earlier also there, but it is not prescribed by the law. Now it has been prescribed by the law, and it has become mandatory. Now, let me go for regulation 3. New regulation 3A has been introduced. Regulation 3 जो था, it deals with the eligibility criteria of the RP, and now altogether a regulation 3A has been added with the heading assistance and cooperation by the personnel of corporate data. Basically, by introducing of this sub-regulation, process of taking over of CDs assets by RP has been streamlined. Earlier, in most of the cases, although it doesn't happen, but in some cases it was happening that that RP, RP or IRP used to be at loggerhead with the management of the company. Management feels that with the start of CIRP, all responsibilities on the shoulder of the IRP, RP, and sometimes some vested interest is also there many a time. The personnel of management, they don't give assets to the concerned IRP, RP. Most of the times they do give, but sometimes they don't give it. And just to streamline the whole process, what will be the process of taking over of the assets? Who will have the custody of this thing? A new sub-regulation 3A has been introduced. In fact, I also remember that, in one or two of my cases, I just shared my practical example with you, that one crane was there. It was a company of working at the site. The supplier took the possession of the crane and he said, till you make the payment of my payment, I won't allow you to take it out. Now, that sort of situation won't be there. Now, the process of 3A, which I am just reading for you, is that IRP, RP shall take custody and control from the concerned personnel, including promoters of the CD, all records of the information relating to the assets, finances, and operations as prescribed under Section 18 subsection E and Regulation 36. 18 subsection E deals with the duties of the IRP. Regulation 36 deals with the information memorandum. Here the most important thing is that when we start our assignment, CRP assignment as an IRP, what actually happening? The things were that where assets were given, there's no problem. If assets were not given, what we used to do? We used to file an application under Section 19 subsection 2. That was the most popular section under which we filed. We are having other modes of recovery also, like Regulation 30 allows us, whereby we can make an application to the NCLT, whereby NCLT can direct to the district authorities for making the promoters to give the give the assets of the company to us. In fact, there is also one section 70 read with Section 236. Which is very sparingly used, which, if anybody doesn't give, despite NCLT order or otherwise, access to the IRP-RP, he can be prosecuted also. But that is very rarely being used. Now, here the process has been streamlined. I have already read 3.1. Let me go to the other points. IRP-RP shall take custody and control from the concerned personnel, including promoter of CD, all records of the information relating to the asset, finances, and operations as prescribed under Section 18A, Regulation 36. अब इसके अंदर जो एक इम्पोर्टेंट वर्ड्स आता है, वो एक इम्पोर्टेंट वर्ड आता है पर्सनल का. जो पर्सनल है, इसको डिफाइन करा गया है सेक्शन 5 सेक्शन 23. अब जो सेक्शन 5 सेक्शन 23 के अंदर इसको डिफाइन करा गया है, तो इसके अंदर ये कहा गया कि ऑल द पर्सन्स, मैनेजमेंट ऑफ द कंपनी, एम्प्लॉयज ऑफ द कंपनी, and it is an inclusive definition. Inclusive definition means that they have defined that because it is very important कि हम किससे रिकॉर्ड लेंगे. हमारे को लॉ किससे अथॉरिटी देता है रिकॉर्ड लेने की? जो हमारे को लॉ अथॉरिटी देता है रिकॉर्ड लेने की, वो सिर्फ क्या कहते हैं, ये पर्सनल को उन्होंने कहा था. पर्सनल डजंट मीन कि ओनली प्रमोटर्स एंड एम्प्लॉय, इट कैन बी एनी अदर पर्सन ऑल्सो. जैसे मैं अभी आपको थोड़ी देर पहले क्रेन का एक एग्जांपल दे रहा था कि सप्लायर ने यानी कि इलीगली क्रेन को हेल्ड कर दिया, तो दैट पर्सन विल आल्सो बी कवर्ड देयर. एंड वी कैन आस्क हिम टू गिव द कस्टडी ऑफ द एसेट एज फार एज हिज ड्यूज आर कंसर्न्ड. वी कैन सिंपली आस्क हिम टू फाइल हिज क्लेम. जो भी उसका ओसी का क्लेम बनता है, उसके अकॉर्डिंगली अपना क्लेम फाइल करें. तो दिस इज डेफिनेशन ऑफ पर्सनल व्हिच आई थॉट ऑफ शेयरिंग विद यू. और इसमें नेक्स्ट स्टेप होगा, दे विल प्रोवाइड व्हाट इज द प्रोसीजर एंड प्रोसेस ऑफ डूइंग दिस थिंग. दे विल प्रोवाइड, यानी कि द कंसर्न्ड पर्सन विल प्रोवाइड लिस्ट इन हुज पोसेशन दीज एसेट्स आर. If no list is provided by them, IRP, RP shall himself prepare the list. After taking control of all this, IRP, RP shall identify in whose custody and control such assets shall be held if required. It's quite possible that all the assets RP, IRP may not be in a position to have a control of everything. Practically, it is not also possible. If you have some machinery, you can't come every day, or your staff will come every day to open and close those factory. He has to give it to the production head कि भैया ये मैं आपको बिजनेस करने के लिए इस चीज की कस्टडी दे रहा हूँ. अब फाइनेंस की बात कर लीजिए. फाइनेंस के अंदर कुछ अगर आपकी कंप्यूटर्स हैं, लेजर्स हैं, या कुछ और है, और प्रिंटेड डॉक्यूमेंट्स है, और डॉक्यूमेंट्स दैट यू हैव टू गिव टू द सीईओ, CFO of the company. Similarly to the marketing head also there. So he will identify, he will prepare the list and identify that whom these assets has been given to run the business of the company. The list shall be signed by both the parties along with 2 independent witnesses. देखिए, लॉ ने तो प्रिस्क्राइब कर दिया कि हम जो लिस्ट बनाएंगे इसको 2 विटनेसेस के साथ हम इसको विटनेस भी करेंगे. लेकिन आई रिमेम्बर इट इज नॉट समथिंग वेरी इजी, बिकॉज इंडिपेंडेंट जो वर्ड यूज करा गया है विटनेस के अंदर, वी नीड टू बी वेरी कॉशियस इन दैट. लेट्स सी कि इसके अंदर एक्सक्लूजन क्या क्या होगा. इन माय ओपिनियन, ओपिनियन कैन डिफर. Employees, corporate debtor के will not be covered there. हमारे employees they will also not be covered there. अब रही बात कंसल्टेंट्स जो हैं, यानी कि एडवोकेट्स या जो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स हैं, या और जो लोग हैं, वो इसके अंदर कवर होंगे या नहीं होंगे, दैट इज अ डिबेटेबल इशू. तो when I was doing my tax practice at the peak level, तो I was handling some such cases. फाइंडिंग ए विटनेस वाज नॉट एन इजी थिंग. तो सबसे अच्छा हमारे को विटनेस वही लगता था कि जो हमारे पड़ोस में रहता था, बिकॉज ही हैज टू बी प्रेजेंट फॉर द होल डे, बट समटाइम्स सर्चेस गोज ऑन फॉर 3, 4, 5 days. तो ही हैज टू बी प्रेजेंट देयर. सिमिलरली व्हाट प्रैक्टिकल सोल्यूशन और आंसर आई कैन गिव इज दैट कि कोई भी नेबरहुड मिल जाए या आसपास की कंपनी के ऑफिस में जो उनको सीडी को जानता हो बट उससे रिलेटेड ना हो, that can be there. But we need to be, my only emphasis is that we need to be very cautious and have only independent witnesses. नहीं तो ये सब चीजें जो हैं बाद में कोर्ट में चैलेंज हो जाती है in case of any dispute. Next step is IRP, RP shall requisition information not provided related to the asset, finances and operation of the corporate debtor from the concerned person, including promoter of CD. IRP, RP shall requisition assets recorded in the balance sheet or IU or depository or any other registry whose custody is not handed over by the concerned personnel, including promoters of the CD. For example, balance sheet से हम लोग आज की डेट में यही करते हैं. बैलेंस शीट्स के अंदर या कोई रजिस्टर ऑफ है जिसके पास, जैसे रजिस्टर ऑफ वेसल्स है, रजिस्टर ऑफ एयरक्राफ्ट्स है, उनके पास एक स्पेसिफिक डिटेल्स होती है एयरक्राफ्ट्स की या वेसल्स की, उनके पास वहां से भी हम डाटा ले सकते हैं. और जब हम वहां से डाटा लेंगे तो वो भी हमारे लिए एक बेसिस बन जाएगा फॉर टेकिंग ओवर एसेट्स फ्रॉम दी corporate debtor or its personnel. Now, the basic objective of streamlining this process was, along with many other, was that what happens that whenever we don't find anything, and when we don't find anything, we used to file an application under section 19 subsection 2 the adjudicating authority. But adjudicating authority sees, try to evaluate कि हम लोगों ने क्या efforts करी इस चीजों को करने के लिए. Now it has been made mandatory as part of the application under section 19 subsection 2 that जो हमारा process prescribe करा गया है, whether we have filed it or not, we need to file it. We need to follow this particular process. And जो 19.2 की application जाएगी उसके अंदर ये सारा का सारा प्रोसीजर लिखा जाएगा कि हमने ये प्रोसेस फॉलो करा, उसके बाद ही हमारे को सीडी ने ये एसेट्स नहीं की. Okay, now I move to my next regulation, regulation 12.1. 12.1 को अगर हम एक भाषा में समझे तो it is related to claims, and I should call it as a belated claims. We all know that regulation 12 deals with the submission of proof of claims. Earlier it says that claim to be submitted up to 90 days, other than extended period of 90 days. And now these 90 days period has been extended to issue up to the receipt of up to the request for the RFRP, request for registration plan, as per regulation 36B. This has been done by substituting subsection 1. जो subsection 1 था उसको हटा के ये नया section ला दिया गया. इस subsection के अंदर क्या है? Substituted to provide for the increase in claim submission up to the date of issue of RFRP with providing reasoning of delay. Earlier it was 90 days. अगर creditor कोई हमारे को claim जो है late file करता है, तो he has to provide the reason for that also. जो हमारे उसके अंदर लिखा होता है 12 के अंदर लिखा होता है, जब हम पब्लिक नोटिस इशू करते हैं उसके अंदर डेज दिए होते हैं. उसके बाद अगर वो लेट फाइल करता है, एंड नो डाउट नो ही हैज बीन गिवन इन टाइम अप टू इशू ऑफ RFRP, तो ही हैज टू गिव द रीजंस फॉर दैट डिले. तो इसके अंदर वन थिंग वाज कमिंग ऑफ माय माइंड वाज दैट अगर कोई क्रेडिटर अगर क्लेम लेट फाइल करने पे भी रीजन नहीं देता, तो एज एन RP और IRP कैन वी इग्नोर दैट क्लेम और रिजेक्ट दैट क्लेम बेस्ड ऑन नॉन सबमिशन ऑफ द रीजंस? In my opinion, it is not there. But when we shall have a discussion, we shall delve into it and have a share our practical experience. Since I've been allotted half an hour only and already 3:30 is there, I'm moving a little bit fast. Now, let's see here, new regulation 13(1)(e) has been introduced. As we know, regulation 13 deals with the verification of claims, and now a new sub-regulation 1 is inserted, which provides if IRP/RP does not collate the claim, has to provide reasons for that. Further, sub-regulation 1D was also inserted and provides that all regulation 12(1) shall be classified as acceptable or non-acceptable, and is required to provide reasons to creditors for non-acceptance also, as per sub-regulation 1C(a). In case of acceptable claims, he is required under regulation 1C under sub-regulation 1C(1)(b) to put before committee in next meeting of inclusion and also submit to the adjudicating authority. IRP/RP to provide reasons of the claim, which I've already spoken, and IRP/RP to categorize our claims as acceptable or non-acceptable for all claims received after 90 days, but before 7 days of meeting of creditors for resolution plans or the initiation of liquidation. Meaning thereby, in nutshell, that no doubt some concession has been given to the creditor to file claim in delay, but responsibility has been given to us also to provide reasons for delay, because practically it was happening many a times because of many reasons that RP was sleeping over the claims, and despite receipt of the claims, they were not either accepting or not giving the reason of rejection there. As far as my the CRP cases are done, I always provide within 3 days, I think time mentioned is there, reasons for non-acceptance of the claim and seek clarification from the creditors. Yeah, another point is that IRP/RP shall intimate to the creditor within 7 days of non-acceptance of claim under sub-regulation 1C. This I've already talked. Now let me move to another regulation. This is with reference to authorized representative. In nutshell, agar hum iski baat kare, to this is the best change brought in the whole CRP process, wherein not only the remuneration of the authorized representative has been increased, but he has been asked to pay for his remuneration for COC meetings with that particular clause has also been determined. But at the same time, some responsibilities has also been there, increased there. Government was feeling, in fact, IBBI in earlier meetings were feeling that AR is quite lowly paid. Now they have removed that anomaly and increased the remuneration of the authorized representative. In fact, अगर हम जैसे हम इसको धीरे-धीरे ये पढ़ते हैं जरा, four sub-regulation therein has been inserted: sub-regulation 3A, 3B, 3C, and sub-regulation 10. What they say: introduce where ER can be replaced on requisition by 10% of the financial creditors of that class of their choice, ER by asking IRP/RP as per the following procedure. Yeah, this is the first change they have brought, whereby Earlier, there was no scope of change of the ER. Now, ER can be changed also. How he can be changed? It can be changed by the class of financial creditors who are having more than 10% voting right in the whole COC by giving a requisition to the IRP RP as per the following procedure. The procedure is IRP, the IRP, RP, they have to give the requisition to the concerned registered professional that we want to change AR, and in his name, this we are suggesting this new RP. This new IRP, RP shall then offer to select out of the three, including as suggested above. तो जो IRP की ड्यूटी है, जो RP की ड्यूटी है, उसको ये करना पड़ेगा, एक जो उस पर्टिकुलर क्लास ने सजेस्ट करा, एक जो ऑलरेडी पुराने वाला RP है, और एक उसको नया, उन तीनों को उसको जो ER का प्रोसीजर है एट प्रेजेंट अपॉइंट करने का, उन तीनों का नाम उसको देना पड़ेगा फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ voting for the selection of this thing. RP then shall apply to the adjudicating authority for the selection of who receives the maximum vote. तो बेसिकली जो तीन ने AR का नाम प्रपोज होगा, आई रिपीट अगेन, एक जो उस क्लास ने दिया, एक पुराने वाला, और एक RP ने अपनी तरफ से जो दिया, तो उसमें से जिसको मैक्सिमम वोट मिलेंगे उसका नाम एडजुडिकेटिंग अथॉरिटी को फॉर अप्रूवल दिया जाएगा फॉर ER. Okay, I was telling you that fees of the AR has been increased. AR fees has been increased to 30,000 to 50,000 rupees against existing fees of 20,000 based on number of creditors. यानी कि अगर उसके क्लास ऑफ क्रेडिटर्स 10 से लेके 100 तक हैं तो उसकी फीस 30,000 रुपये हो जाएगी. इनफैक्ट अगर 30,000 को हम कंपेयर करें 20,000 से, तो इट इज 1.5 टाइम. अगर क्लास ऑफ क्रेडिटर जो कि मैक्सिमम इस क्लास के अंदर आते हैं 101 से लेके 1000 में, उसकी फीस 40,000 हो जाएगी, यानी कि मीनिंग देयर बाय कि उसकी फीस डबल हो जाएगी. और अगर मोर देन 1000 उसके क्रेडिटर्स हैं तो उसकी फीस 50,000 रुपीज पर मीटिंग हो जाएगी एज पर रेगुलेशन 8A. तो दिस इज अ गुड चेंज because the responsibility of the AR is quite good. ये बेसिकली जो होम बायर्स के AR है उनके लिए ही मैक्सिमम बेनिफिट होगा, बिकॉज उसी के अंदर ही जो ये AR का कंसेप्ट है ये है. और इनफैक्ट आई जस्ट शेयर इट विद यू, हम लोग ने अनुज जैन जी को बुलाया था एक बार मीटिंग के लिए, तो ही जस्ट आई रिमेम्बर कि उन्होंने कहा था कि ये AR की जो उत्पत्ति हुई है, जो AR का जो कंसेप्ट चला बना है, ये वर्ल्ड में कहीं पे भी नहीं है. This is only unique to the India, and that too because of the home buyers. Home buyers ki, number of home buyers are too much. It was becoming difficult for all those home buyers to manage in the COC, and consequently, after they brought IBBI thought in their wisdom to bring the prison whereby AR was being appointed representing those home buyers. Okay. Yes, another is that AR is also not entitled for fees for bidding with the class of creditors, और वो 10,000, 12,000 और 15,000 रुपए प्रिस्क्राइब करेगी. इनफैक्ट जो लोग एयर का काम करते हैं वो ऑलरेडी इनके साथ देवर होल्डिंग मीटिंग विद द COC एज पार्ट ऑफ देयर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. बिकॉज अगर आपने कोई COC का डिसीजन कन्वे करना है होम बायर्स को कि इनको कैसे इसके लिए डिसीजन लेना है, क्या करना है, तो ओनली ऑप्शन इज कि यू नीड टू हैव मीटिंग विद देम. जनरली मैं अपने केस के अंदर जूम मीटिंग से करता था. जनरली ये मीटिंग्स दो तरह की होती थी, एक मीटिंग पहले और एक मीटिंग यानी COC मीटिंग से पहले, जस्ट टू एड्रेस देम कि ये नोटिस के अंदर ये एजेंडा है, इनको अपने कैसे कॉल लेनी है. और फिर उसके बाद जब हम COC मीटिंग करते थे, उसके बाद जब मिनट्स उसके दिए जाते थे, उसके बीच में जो गैप होता था उसमें हम लोग मीटिंग करते थे. सिमिलरली हियर आल्सो 2 मीटिंग शेल बी क्रिप कॉस्ट. लॉ ने प्रिस्क्राइब कर दिया कि अगर 2 COC मीटिंग के बीच में अगर AR कोई मीटिंग करता है तो वो 2 मीटिंग्स तो ऑटोमेटिकली क्रिप कॉस्ट होगी, और इससे ज्यादा अगर मीटिंग करते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ द रीजन विद द क्लास ऑफ क्रेडिटर्स, देन इफ COC approves, then it be treated as a crib cost. Earlier position was that कि thought in the IBBI was that कि अगर आप कोई सर्विसेज रेंडर कर रहे हो क्लास को, होम बायर्स को, तो आप उनसे फीस चार्ज करो. अब होम बायर्स के केस में वो वैसे ही बेचारे, उनके पास कहाँ पैसे होते थे, तो कहाँ से वो RP को AR को फीस देंगे अपनी तरफ से, तो उस चीज को उन्होंने स्ट्रीमलाइन कर दिया गया है, और उसके जो काम की जो फीस है वो क्या कहते हैं उसको क्रिप कॉस्ट बना दिया गया. आई रिमेंबर देयर वाज वन डिसिप्लिनरी प्रोसीडिंग्स इन वन ऑफ द AR वेयर बाय ही टुक सम मनी in the as a staff expenses reimbursement. तो DC ने उसके अगेंस्ट डिसिप्लिनरी एक्शन ले लिया, ये कहते हुए कि फिर हमारे इस रेगुलेशन का मतलब क्या रह जाएगा कि अगर आप इनडायरेक्ट वे से उससे पैसे ले लोगे. नो, फीस इज रीजनेबली गुड. और इनफैक्ट अगर सपोज कर लो किसी क्लास के अंदर किसी आरपी को IRP को 2 लाख रुपए का 1.5 लाख रुपए फीस मिल रही है या उसके साथ से मिल रही है, अगर उसके बीच में AR ने मीटिंग ज्यादा कर ली, तो इट इज क्वाइट थियोरेटिकली पॉसिबल दैट ही मे हैव ए मोर फीस देन RP and IRP also with many less responsibilities. But this is a theoretical thing only. Practically AR की फीस RP या IRP से कम ही रहेगी. Yeah, this I have already shared. New sub-regulation 16.8.10 inserted, which has substantially increased the duties of the AR as follows. प्रैक्टिकली ये सारे काम AR आज की डेट में करता था, लेकिन फिर भी अब लॉ ने इसको प्रिस्क्राइब कर दिया है. तो लेट मी शेयर विद यू व्हाट आर द दोज ड्यूटीज. Understanding the discussions and consideration of the committee meeting and facilitate informed decision making. Review the contents of minutes prepared by the RP and provide his comments to the registered professional, if any. Help during the consultation made by the registered profession to prepare a strategy for marketing of the essence of the corporate data in terms of sub-regulation 1 of Regulation 36C. Work in collaboration to enhance the marketability of the essence of the corporate data in terms of sub-regulation 3 of Regulation 36C. Evaluate the regulation plan submitted by PRA. Ensure that they have access to any information or documents required to form an opinion on issues discussed in the committee meeting. Update regularly on the progress of the corporate CIRP process. Record procedures that prepare the minutes of the meeting. Act as a representative before the adjudicating authority, NCLT and other regulatory authorities. So, these were the 6 slides I have taken. I was allotted 30 minutes time, but 10 minutes mere ko aur lag gaye. So, with this, my presentation is over. And now I request Pamta ji to ask Nilesh ji to move forward with rest of the regulations amendments. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for listening to me and giving me the time.
Thank you so much. That was really elaborative. And I think why we are able to do it pretty in an elaborate manner, because we are actually doing it every day. So even I have encountered one COC after this 18th notification. I will like to talk about it, but only after
Yes,
that
please.
summary. I'll talk it out as a summary of my understanding, because it's very important that we first listen to what Nilesh ji has in store for all of us. And if our chief guest is also here, maybe request him to just maybe address us for a few moments. Is he there? Have you been able to see him?
I'm not able to see him. Yeah, I'm not able to. Mukul ji, sir, aap ho? Let me,
Okay, maybe then request Nilesh ji. Nilesh ji?
Yes, please. Yes.
Yes. May I request you to please address all of us? Nilesh ji, if you're there.
Mamta ji, you please continue with your experience. I'm just calling in Nilesh.
Sure. So I'll tell you what happened with Regulation 13(1)(c), where it actually talks about the claims which has been received by the RP after 90 days. So what we actually used to do just pre this change was that we used to always write back to the claimant to say that we have received it, but we cannot adjudicate or verify the claim because it has been received late. And we request you to please get a continuation of this delay, and only then we will be able to verify and collate this claim. So subject to verification, as per the books and records of the corporate debtor, we always used to write back to the claimant to say that, look, this is received beyond the time period that has been given in the PA, that is public announcement, and so much so that it has also been received beyond 90 days. As given in the regulations, and hence we are unable to verify the said claim, collate the said claim, and we are keeping it on hold. And we say that you please first get into the condonation mode, and once it is condoned, you may please come back, and we reserve our right to then verify the claim as per the books and records of the corporate debtor, which means in simple words that it will be then verified as per the merits of the matter, of the case, of the claim. Now what has happened is, because of this change of so therefore what used to happen was, lot of these claims, obviously for condonation of delay, used to knock the doors of the Honorable NCLT, and the Honorable NCLT was swarmed with just condoning this delay, because we've hardly seen, honestly speaking, practically, we've hardly seen any claim not really getting condoned. So howsoever delayed it used to be, it actually used to get condoned because of so many factors which the Honorable NCLT considered. Now, because of the change, what has happened, and I had a COC of mine on just day before yesterday. So where, 13(1)(c) change had come, and when I took before the COC, even the COC was like, oh, this is very important change. Acha, it has come. So they were all like, they were all, of course, it will just take some time to sink in. What I did was then, I always maintain an Excel sheet where I used to put all these late claims in one place. So as soon as 18(9) came, I wrote to all those late claimants, first tell us why your claim was sent to me belated. Okay, let us know the reasons. So they wrote back, which some of them wrote back, some of them obviously they kind of, whatever reason, they don't write. So people who wrote back, I then collated all the reasons. So I made a sheet, Excel sheet, serial number, name, address, and then the email ID, the phone number and the email ID in one column, the reasons for delay, the amount of claim that they had made, why that form, and then you need to have a column of amount accepted. As per this 13(1)(c), which is very, very important. If you are also having your COC, you need to very quickly do this. So you should have a column of amount accepted. Please don't write amount admitted, because the regulation specifically says of acceptance of the amount. So you write amount of claim accepted, amount of claim not accepted. And you can have an additional column of remarks, okay, and reasons. So why you are writing amount of claims. Hi, Nilesh ji, sorry, just if you may permit, I'll just finish this in 5 minutes maximum.
Hello.
Nilesh ji, I actually just took the benefit of this a little time lag. So can I
no problem. Sure.
Thank you. I was just talking of 13(1)(c). So I was saying that then you should have a column of remarks where you may write for your own feedback, that why is it that you are not accepting. For example, just for an example's sake, that if an employee has imposed interest as an operational creditor claim, so I wrote that interest provision is not there. So I'm not accepting that portion of the claim, and I'm accepting the real portion of the claim. So this is how you do. Now, just as a practical tip, I want to tell you that in list of claims, that list of creditors that we prepare, there is another column of contingent claims. But 13(1)(c) doesn't talk about contingent claims, okay? So you may still have, this is just a suggestion and don't take it as an advice, that you may also still have one more column which will say amount of claims not accepted, but can be treated as contingent claim. because that column is not there in 13.1c. That suggestion is not there in 13.1c. But for the list of claims, especially for government claims, this is something which I have done it for my case. So I'm saying that this is very important. Then the whole list, you need to take it to the COC. It has been given also. The first COC meeting that is happening after 18, you have to take it there. So you have to take it there. The COC has to recommend or not recommend. It may so happen the COC will say, I will not recommend, because the list is heavy sometimes. And, it is, there are so many reasons. Let's not get into it because our speaker is also here, our next speaker. So I just wish to tell you that you need to take the whole list there. You may just hide few columns, for example, reasons, etc., because the COC is not very keen to know so much. They just want to know what is written in the regulations. So you will just hide it and then place it so that you are not doing a duplicacy of work. Here, hiding means not hiding from the COC, but just that extra information is never what they want. So you may just create a sheet which is just in accordance with the regulations. So then you take it to the COC. The COC may not recommend immediately, let me tell you. So you should have that preparation in your mind. The COC will say that we need to go to our competent authorities to just have this understanding, because this is for the first time they will start hearing in the COCs gradually. So you should be just prepared for all of it. And one more important pertinent fact is they also need to tell you what will be the treatment in the resolution plan. So generally the treatment will be, they have to write it in the minutes. You should write it in the minutes that the treatment will be at par with that particular plethora with that particular category of creditors. So, I mean, I've just done this, so I thought I'll share it. Now, I think it's time to listen to our own Vice President, Mr. Nilesh Sharma, who in itself knows IBC from day one. He's been doing restructuring for so many years, donkey number of years, if we may say so, because he knows it all. Restructuring is quite in his DNA. So I think for Nilesh Sharma ji, getting into IBC was the most logical thing that anyone could have done, and he's quite a name in the society for IBC laws. Thank you, Nilesh ji, for being the Vice President of IPA. Once again, I'm using this platform to give our gratitude to you. You may kindly go ahead with your portion of the session.
Thank you very much, Mamta ji, for the kind words you have used. And I think very good session by Manoj ji. So I think clauses 1 to 6, clauses or paras 1 to 6 of the new amendments have been covered by Manoj ji. So I have to start from para 7. I have made one small PPT. Let me share that with you, and then we start the this particular session for the subsequent part of the amendments. 1 minute. Hope you can see this on your screen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's visible. Yeah. Please carry on.
Okay. Yeah. So these amendments, as we are aware, that have been issued on 18 September 2023. IBBI insolvency resolution process for corporate persons, second amendment regulations 2023. So now clause 7 onward. So this is amendment in regulation 28.1, and this regulation mainly provides that in case of assignment or transfer of debt by any creditor to any other person, then in that case, within 7 days of such assignment or transfer, the IRP, the creditor, both the creditors, the one who has transferred or assigned and the one who is the assignee, they have to, within 7 days of such assignment or transfer, provide IRP or the RP, as the case may be, the terms of such assignment or transfer and the identity of the assignee or transferee. Okay, so both the parties, they have to give these details. So this provision was earlier also there, but only thing is that this timeline of 7 days has been added. Okay, so within 7 days of the assignment. Okay, so now, as you know, that whenever there is any assignment, then assignment deed has to be executed. And if there is some immovable asset involved, so mostly the secured financial creditor, they assign the debt. And when they assign the debt, they mostly have charge over the immovable assets. So all these assignment deeds, they are required to be registered also. So I think within 7 days of such assignment, or date of execution of assignment can be something. But I think after that, you have to file it, you have to get it registered. So I think within 7 days of registration of that particular deed, I think that can be provided with to the IRP or RP. Okay, so it is important, and it becomes valid or it becomes enforceable only when it is registered. So once it is registered, and IRP, RP can act upon a particular deed only when it is registered, especially when it is involving some charge over immovable assets. Okay, so this change, that within 7 days of such assignment or transfer, the details have to be shared with the IRP or RP. And then IRP or RP, they have to make the change in the list of the creditors. Okay, but this particular regulation does not provide as to what happens if, suppose, it is not filed within a period of 7 days. Suppose it is filed after 15 days, 30 days, or then what will happen? Will that not be given effect to by the IRP or RP? So according to me, I think still IRP or RP will have to give effect to that assignment in his creditors list. So, but I think the purpose here seems to be that they want that there should be a timeline. It should not happen that you are having that transfer made, but you are not informing the IRP or RP. So within 7 days of such assignment to transfer, the intimation must be given to the RP or IRP. So this is one amendment which has been made. Then this is another important amendment which has been made, which is insertion of Regulation 30B. Now, audit of corporate debtor during the CIRP period can be undertaken if a creditor, any creditor can make a request now to the IRP or RP that they want the audit of the corporate debtor to be made. And then in that case, IRP or RP, they have to act as per Regulation 18.3. And then they have to take this request to the COC. And if COC approves, then audit will have to be made. And let's see what these provisions are. 130B, this is a totally new regulation, 30B, and it says 30B1, any member of the committee may propose. So even a single member of COC may propose an audit of the corporate debtor along with the objective, scope, estimate of the cost, time frame, and name of the proposed auditors. So whenever any member of the committee is proposing, so even a single member can propose. Now question is, if there is a class of creditor, so any member of class of creditor can propose that? I think because they are not the members of the committee. AR is the member of the committee on their behalf. So AR only can make this proposal according to me, and AR, as you are aware, that he has to act according to the instructions of that particular clause, and that instructions can be given with simple majority, with 51% of those who vote in favor of a particular item. So I think that it is not clear. It is not clear here. It simply says that any member of the committee may propose an audit of the CD, and then that member has to specify the objective as to why he wants to get this audit done, and what will be the scope of that audit, whether it is only that certain items of expenditure he wants to be audited, or the entire expenditure which have been incurred during this entire period, those are required to be covered by the audit. Then estimate of the cost also he has to give. Time frame, how much time according to him should be taken by this audit, and the name of the proposed auditor. he can propose that. When this type of proposal is made, then in that case, it has to be considered. A proposal made under sub-regulation 1 shall be considered as per sub-regulation 3 of regulation 18, and an audit shall be conducted if such proposal is approved by the committee. So it is not that a proposal is made and then IRP or RP has to conduct the audit. He has to get this proposal to the COC, and if COC approves, then only this audit can be conducted. So it is not specified here that whether the 66% voting is required. I think in that case, majority vote should be in favor, and then this type of audit can be conducted. Then 18 regulation 18 sub-regulation 3. So this is also, I think, I think I have reproduced that. So this regulation says, or sub-regulation 3 of regulation 18 provides that an RP may place a proposal received from members of the committee in a meeting if he considers it necessary. So the word is may. So if a proposal is received from the members of the committee, then he can take that. He has that discretion that he may place a proposal before the committee if he considers it necessary. And if he feels that no, it is not necessary, then he is not supposed to. Then he may not take it to the COC. So first, if any member has made a proposal, then discretion is with the RP. He has to see if it is necessary, then only he will take it to the COC, otherwise not. But if that proposal is made by the members of the committee representing at least 33% of the voting right, in that case, it is mandatory for him. The word is shall. So he shall place the proposal if the same is made by members of the committee representing at least 33% of the voting right. Okay, so this is 18.3. So 18.3, if the proposal for conducting the audit has come with the members who are representing 33% of the voting share, then in that case, it is mandatory for him to take this resolution or this proposal to the COC. And if it is less than 33%, then he has to decide whether he feels it necessary. Then only he will be taking this proposal to the committee. And if committee approves that proposal, that resolution, in that case, then audit will have to be conducted. If COC does not approve that proposal, then audit will not have to be conducted. Then
sir, it may increase the CIRP cost. Then we have to pay the auditor also.
Definitely.
And sir, they are saying auditor plus IP.
Yes. So audit shall be conducted by an insolvency professional having qualification required for such audit. So we have to see that if it is some audit of financial record, so in that case, I think a chartered accountant can do that. But if the audit can be of the expenditure relating to, suppose it's a real estate project. So in that case also, I think the audit can be conducted by a chartered accountant, because chartered accountants, they are the professionals who have the qualification required for conducting an audit. So according to me, I think CAs should be the persons who are having the required qualification for doing this. I don't know whether CMAs also, if CMAs can do audit, and that kind of audit is requested by the RP. But additional qualification is that not only that he should have the qualification for doing that audit, but in addition, he should be an insolvency professional also. So these dual qualifications have been prescribed. The audit shall be conducted by an insolvency professional having qualification required for such audit. Okay. Then next is, and then it has to be, it goes without saying that the person should be unrelated to the insolvency professional. There he cannot, though actually it is to be proposed by the creditors. So no, this auditor is not to be appointed by the RP. Auditor is to be proposed by the person who is making the proposal for conducting the audit. Then auditor shall prepare a report detailing his findings, and the same shall be presented before the committee along with the comments of the interim resolution professional or the resolution professional, as the case may be. Okay. So then auditor shall prepare this report detailing his findings. So with detailed report, whatever report he is preparing, so he will be sharing that report. He will prepare that report, and that will be presented with the COC. But before presenting it to the COC, then he has to take the comments of the IRP or the RP, as the case may be, and then expenses of such audit shall be treated as insolvency resolution process cost. Okay, but what will happen if suppose there are some adverse findings? So what will happen? So audit will be conducted. So I think then in that case, if there is any adverse finding, then I think COC can take appropriate action. In that case, they may propose that if some adverse findings are there, they may propose that they want the RP to be changed. This may happen. They may order for if there is any siphoning away, then in that case, they may apply to the adjudicating authority for taking appropriate action against that RP, though it is not specified. But I think that can be the possible outcome if any adverse finding is there in the report, though these provisions are silent about the same. So these are the provisions.
It means new venue of litigation is opening up by way of this amendment.
I think though the regulator has felt that it is required, but definitely it will another kind of litigation will be there, and
so
then time and energy
and the burdensome on the shoulder of the RP, sir. How could
that is definitely there.
Yes.
Litigation may come or may not come, but it will act as a very big control on the IP, who is already under lot of stress or duress, in fact, I should say, as far as controls on him are concerned.
Yeah,
right,
so we are losing focus actually, because RP should concentrate on mainly on this resolution of the CD.
Correct.
I think this type of things will be, he will have to spend a lot of his time and energy in this type of in this type of audit and all. So
many cases RPs did not get their money. Then this is a wasteful exercise, sir. There is no cash flow in the companies, only to do the audit where RP get nothing. Then how could you make these kind of things possible in the conducting in present CIRP?
COC will be funding that. If they want this audit to be conducted and if money is not there, then definitely COC will be funding that. Okay, so I think this is 30B. And then we go to the next amendment, and this amendment is substitution of sub-regulation 1 under regulation 36B. So old provisions, the earlier provisions were, or before amendment, the provisions were, the RP shall issue the information memorandum, evaluation matrix, and a request for resolution plan within 5 days of the date of issue of the provisional list under subregulation 10 of regulation 36 to every prospective resolution applicant in the provisional list and every prospective resolution who has contested the decision of RP against his non-inclusion in the provisional list. Okay, so earlier 36B1 provided that IM and RFRP, etc., it will be issued within 5 days of the date of issuance of the provisional list. Within 5 days of the issuance of provisional list, you know that those PRAs whose names are not there in the provisional list, they were supposed to file their objection. Okay, so at the expiry of this 5 days period, when you have received the objections also, then you are supposed to issue these documents, request for resolution plan and other documents, to all the PRAs who are there in the provisional list, as well as those who have contested their non-inclusion in that provisional list. But now they say the changes have been made, and changes are that these documents have to be issued within 5 days of the date of issuance of the final list, and to every resolution applicant in the final list. So now we are not required to. There is a proviso also that we will discuss. So, but now it says that you have to prepare your final list, and within 5 days of the issuance of this final list, you have to share these documents, the RFRP, and then information memorandum, evaluation matrix, matrix, etc. Okay, so this information has to be given to those who are included in the final list. Proviso says that where such documents are available, the same may also be provided to every PRA in the provisional list. So when you are making the provisional list, and at that point of time, if you are having all these documents ready, then at that you can share these documents with every PRA who is there in the provisional list. Actually, whosoever is there in the provisional list, he is bound to be there in the final list. But if some PRAs are not included in the provisional list, they have to contest, and then the decision is to be taken. If they are subsequently included, then they will be issued after issuance of the final list. Okay, so this change will be having the effect that I think our process will be delayed by approximately, I think, 15 days time period. Because 5 days of the date of issuance of provisional list, final list is issued after 15 days from the date of issuance of provisional list, because 5 days are for the purpose of filing their objections, and then after that 10 days, RP has to take for issuance of final list. So I think issuance of the RFRP has been delayed by 15 days by making this change. Okay. So now again, let's see what these changes are. One, now that we have to issue these documents or request for resolution plan to every RA in the final list. If these documents are ready prior to the same, then to those PRAs who are there in the provisional list, also you can issue them. So it will give them some additional 15 days time period to prepare the resolution plan. Okay, but if it may happen that 1 or 2 out of who are not included in the provisional list, they will be coming in the final list, they will be getting 30 days less, 15 days lesser time period. But rest of the RAs, because of this change, they may get additional 15 days time period if these documents are ready by that date. So I think earlier I have already discussed this. Regulation 40A, substitution of row relating to regulation 36B in the table. So as you are aware that 40A gives the timelines, model timelines for completion of different steps under the CIRP process. So these changes are only with respect to regulation 36B. So that entire chart is there. Their entire table is there, in which different regulations, the timelines are mentioned, but these changes are only with respect to regulation 36B, and that is consequential. Okay, so issue of RFRP, including evaluation metrics and IM. So now these are the older provisions. So under old provisions, actually there was an anomaly also, or there was an error in the old provision. So old regulation said that within 5 days of the issue of the provisional list, okay, so provisional list was being issued within T plus 85 days. Okay, so under the older provision, there were errors in the above 2 rows. As per the third column, RFRP and the other documents were to be issued within 5 days of the issuance of the provisional list, and provisional list was supposed to be issued within T plus 85 days. Okay, so T plus, actually the last column should have been T plus 90 within 5 days of the issue of the provisional list. So it should have been T plus 90, but actually there was an error, and last column was showing T plus 105. And then consequent error was there in the receipt of resolution plan. Next item, where T plus 135. Actually, it should have been T plus 180, because 90 days plus 30 days. Okay, so I think the effect has been, now the process has been, so this error was having the effect of here T plus 105 should have been T plus 90, and T plus 135 should have been T plus 120. Now timelines have been increased by 15 days. So I think final last column will remain as it is. Okay, so that change has been made, but the third column, these changes have been reflected, and these are new table is within 5 days of issuance of final list, issuance of RFRP, including evaluation matrix and IM will be made now under the new provisions within 5 days of issuance of the final list, which will be T plus 105, which was there earlier also. But in the third column, the change has been made within 5 days of the issuance of provisional list. In place of that, now it is 5 days of the issuance of the final list. Receipt of resolution plan is actually within 30 days from the issue of RFRP. So assuming 30 days, so T plus 135. So final column remains as it is. However, third column, the change is there. Another change is substitution of row 3 and 4 in the table under subregulation 1A of regulation 40B. So there also, I think that rectification has been done. Earlier, there was an error. And second thing is that now the provisions of 36B have been changed. So that consequential effect is also there. So this is old regulation 40B. So as we are aware that under the old regulation 40B, if we don't complete a particular activity within the specified time period, then within 30 days of that specified date, we are supposed to file CIRP 7. And then after every 30 days, we are supposed to file CIRP 7 till the time that particular act is completed. Okay, so the now change is with respect to these item 3 and 4. So this is old regulation which provided information memorandum. I'm reading item 3. Information memorandum is not issued within 51 days from the date of public announcement. Okay, so that means public announcement is made within 3 days of the ICD. So that means as per this, information memorandum should have been issued. If it is not issued within 54 days of ICD, then this requirement was there, which is wrong, because now IM can be issued within 95 days. So this was wrong. This was an error earlier. Then fourth is RFRP is not issued within 51 days from the date of issuance of information memorandum. So the information memorandum as per 3 was supposed to be issued within 54 days. So 51 days thereafter, that means 105 days. So I think though 4 was okay, because now 54 plus 51, 105 days is the time period now. Though earlier there was an error, because earlier RFRP was supposed to be issued 15 days earlier, that is by 90th day. So there was an error which has now been rectified. Let's see the new regulation. These two clauses under new regulation say that information memorandum is not issued within 92 days from the date of public announcement. So public announcement, as I said, that is to be made within 3 days of ICD. So 92 days from the date of ICD means T plus or ICD plus 95 days. So if you don't issue the IM within 95 days of insolvency commencement date, then you have to submit this CIRP 7, and then after every 30 days. Then clause 4 is RFRP is not issued within 10 days from the date of issuance of information memorandum to the committee. So RFRP, as you are aware, that 105 days from the ICD. So if IM is to be issued within 95 days, then 10 days thereafter RFRP means 105 days. So RFRP should, if it is not issued within 105 days, then you have to file this CIRP 7. Okay, so this is another change. I have already explained this to you. Substitution of Form G. So Form G, some clauses have been added here, and these clauses are, and some small change is there, which is, I will tell you, these changes are, so this is Form G, which is new Form G. Okay, so here you will see that the changes are 1, in clause 8. In clause 8, if you read, further details including last available financial statement with schedules of 2 years, list of creditors are available at URL. Earlier, after list of creditors, the words were relevant dates for subsequent events of the process. So those words have been deleted. The words which are deleted are relevant dates for subsequent events of the process. And reason for the same is that why these words have been deleted from there. because these relevant dates have been incorporated in Form G itself now. So they are not supposed to refer to some other place for the purpose of these timelines with respect to subsequent events of the process. Then further details are that some clauses have been added. These clauses are clause 13. So clause 13 is date of issuance of final list of PRAs. Okay, so this has been added now. So date of issuance of final list of PRA has to be mentioned there. Then 14 is also added. This 14 says date of issuance of information memorandum, evaluation matrix, and RFRP. And then 15 has also been added, last date for submission of resolution plan. So these are the 4 changes which have been made. So these 3 clauses, 13, 14, 15, and 1 change in clause 8. So these are the small changes which have been made there. Then I have already explained, these are the changes. Insertion of para 6A in Form H of Schedule 1. So 6A has been inserted, and 6A now says that minutes of the committee meeting relating to discussion and decisions about resolution plans are attached with this certificate. Okay, so 6A, minutes of the committee meeting relating to discussion. So along with Form H now, you have to attach, though I think all the minutes are required to be attached, but specifically it says that minutes of the committee meeting relating to discussions and decisions about resolution plan are attached with this certificate. And reason for the same is that you know that COC is supposed to discuss about the viability and feasibility. So all those discussion so have to be, these are relevant at the time when honorable adjudicating authority is considering a resolution plan for approval. So they need to see whether these provisions of the law have been complied with, whether these discussions have taken place at the COC meeting when this resolution plan was approved. Okay, so this is one change which has been made. Then 2 RAWs, these changes, 36(1) regulation 30 RAW relating to 36(1) and regulation 36A in clause 10 in para 10 of Form H of Schedule 1 has been made. So these are the new timelines in para 10 of Form H. These timelines only have been changed, and these have been changed in order because there were certain errors earlier. So those have been rectified, and the amendments which are made, the consequential effect of the same has been incorporated here. Earlier, you will see that in place submission of information memorandum to COC. Earlier, in the earlier chart or in earlier Form H, the date which was mentioned was T plus 54. Now it has been, so actually there was an error. It should have been T plus 95, which has been rectified. Invitation of EOI and publication of Form G, which is one and the same thing. So with that is T plus 60. Earlier, the time period which was mentioned was T plus 75. Okay, so there also, I think there was an error. Provisional list of resolution applicants. So this is T plus 85. Earlier, wrongly, it was mentioned as T plus 100. And final list of resolution applicants T plus 100. Earlier, it was T plus 115. Okay, so these rectifications have been made in this Form H in clause 10 in para 10. So I think these are the changes from clause 7 to I think 13 or 14, 13 I think 13. So with this, I think I conclude my presentation. I request, I think, Mamta ji, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Thank you so much, Nilesh ji. That was really valuable because bringing all the changes in one place is not an easy task. And that too, making it in a way that people are able to understand is an equally daunting task. May we request for, if you have any questions on this, you may kindly ask. If you have any questions on this, you may please ask unhesitatingly.
Nilesh ji, I just want to go back to the audit part.
Okay.
The audit part pertains to any objection against the RP's conduct or the conduct of the CD. So it is to be seen from that angle, because earlier the modifications wanted that the RP's account should be audited. I believe that this modification is towards the CD's account and may not really affect the RP's conduct. Kindly clarify.
Okay. Shiv Nandan ji, as you know that already we are supposed to conduct some audits, like when we are there as IRP or RP. So we have to conduct the annual audit. So it is not that we are not supposed to conduct that. The books of accounts are required to be audited. Okay. So according to me, I think this is for the purpose of auditing the expenditures which are being incurred by the IRP or RP, or maybe because IRP or RP, he is running the affairs of the CD, because he is running the affairs of the CD. So he is conducting the business. So purpose can be to see that the business which is being conducted by the IRP or RP. So proper accounting is being made, and proper whatever expenditures are being made, those are in order. Okay, so it seems to me, because otherwise the books of accounts are required to be audited under the provisions of Companies Act, then we are supposed to conduct the transaction audit also. So I don't think it will be covering anything else, except that the expenditure part which is being incurred, or the period during which IRP, RP is in control. So the affairs of the company or books of accounts of the company, that your intention, according to me, is that those expenditures, receipt, etc., are being covered through this audit. So that is my interpretation.
Thank you.
Maybe,
Sir, 1 minute. Dilesh ji, if permitted, Mamta ji, can I add to it?
Yeah, please,
Manoj ji.
please.
No. Dilesh ji, I think I read this section, I'm doing a lot of audit work also. So I read this section. अगर हम अपनी slide के okay, you have stopped sharing your screen. Okay, I share it with you. No,
No,
what you said,
that was it.
something different is there. हाँ जी, ममता जी, please carry on. बताइए क्या करते हैं आप?
नहीं, सर, वो स्लाइड दूसरा था, आप आराम से दूसरा लगाइए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं।
मैंने लगा लिया। I think mine is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
No, this is not the same. Okay, I read it. I just stop my slide.
Item 8.
Yeah,
Para
it was something else. Okay, if we read this thing, Nilesh ji, अगर आप कर पाओ तो please कर लेना, मेरे को time लग जाएगा. 30B, what it reads that any member of the committee may propose an audit for the corporate debtor, along with, the thing is, emphasis should be given, along with the objectives, scope, estimate of the cost, time frame, etc. तो इसके अंदर जो हमारा 30B सब रेगुलेशन 1 के अंदर ऑडिट होगा, इसके अंदर जो भी वो मेंबर इसको इनिशिएट करेगा, वो उसके लिए स्कोप सिर्फ फाइनेंशियल नहीं है, इट कैन बी एक्सटेंडेड टू एनीथिंग एल्स आल्सो. लाइक हमारी IRP, RP की बहुत सारी ड्यूटीज हैं अंडर द कोड एंड ऑल द रेगुलेशंस, वेदर वी आर कंप्लाइड विद ऑल दिस थिंग और नॉट. नंबर 1. नंबर 2, से हम लोग सपोज कर लो ये किसी टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री की सीडी का काम कर रहे हैं, या किसी होम वेयर का सीडी का काम कर रहे हैं, तो फॉर गेटिंग रेजोल्यूशन एज एन RP, हैड वी अडॉप्टेड द बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस और नॉट. तो बिकॉज वो ऑडिट जो है वो हम करवा लेंगे क्या नाम, इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट से. तीसरी बात यह है कि देखिए, जैसे फाइनेंशियल ऑडिट अगर होता तो फाइनेंशियल ऑडिट के लिए क्वालिफिकेशन चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट प्रिस्क्राइब्ड है, वो यहाँ पे प्रिस्क्राइब नहीं है. दे हैव नॉट प्रिस्क्राइब्ड की एनी क्वालिफिकेशन फॉर डूइंग दिस थिंग. दे सेड एनीबॉडी, as far as qualification for doing audit is concerned, it has not been prescribed and it has been left open to the wisdom of the COC कि वो कुछ कर ले. तो in my opinion, scope of the audit will be like that.
Okay, Manoj ji, actually, because this provision, this particular clause 1, it is silent as to what do they mean by this audit, whether this is audit of accounts, financial audit only, or it is any other kind of audit also, management audit or any other kind of audit also. Okay, so I think that is the reason that different people can interpret that differently. I think objective, I don't know what is the objective here. But it appears to me that if IRP, RP, they are in control of the affairs. So here purpose is that whether they are running the affairs in a proper manner or not. I think that should be the purpose of the audit. But that is not clear. That is not clear. And in any case,
then they should say for the CIRP period. Here the period, the COC member can go back even on the project execution period, which might have been 20 years ago. So it is not clear that the audit will be pertaining to which activity and which period.
Correct. So it is not specified. Though already I think you know that we conduct transaction audit, we conduct forensic audit also of the period which are not falling within this transaction audit period. So all those things are already there, and then the statutory audit is also there as per the provisions of Companies Act. Then what more audit is required?
सर इसमें मैं थोड़ा सा और ऐड करना चाहूंगा कि see the veracity of this particular the sub regulation insertion. Myself took the initiative and asked our institute of Chartered Accountant of India, where we have an IBC committee. I've already asked my chairman कि let's delve in detail with it कि इसके कहने का मतलब क्या है, objective, scope, estimate, who be the eligible person, something like that. Most probably our institute will come out with clarification or a guidance note sort of thing there, which they have been doing for other things also कि what does it mean. And in fact, before going for that, we may be having a meeting with the IBBI officers also to understand their perspective also, because many a times कुछ मन में कुछ होता है, लिखा कुछ जाता है. तो जो मेरी आज की डेट में टोटल अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, इट्स दिस फील्ड हैज बीन लेफ्ट ओपन. Objective, scope mean this thing, whatever is the thought process of that particular concerned person. Only check and balance put on him is that it need to be proved by the COC. So let's I mean to say it is not confined to the financial, and it is something far wider, more than that. Sir Gupta ji, आप बताइए प्लीज.
नहीं ठीक है, everything is okay.
शिवनंदन जी, वी आर रियली थैंकफुल फॉर योर कंट्रीब्यूशन.
स्कोप है यहाँ पर डेफिनेटली.
हाँ जी, काफी ज्यादा इसके अंदर. तो जब गाइडेंस नोट आ जाएगा इंस्टीट्यूट की तरफ से, लेट्स सी हाउ मच टाइम वी टेक इन प्रिपेयरिंग दैट गाइडेंस नोट.
IBBI needs to clarify this, Manoj ji.
है जी सर.
I think an IBBI needs to clarify.
Yes. IBBI definitely, it has to be with the concurrence of IBBI only, or IPA will also be involved in it. But ultimate authority for audit is our institute, so that is why things do route through them only. But practically IPA and IBBI is absolutely involved in it.
Correct.
Yes, sorry, I've taken a lot of time. Mamta ji, please carry on.
No, that's okay. Actually, I was just wondering if our chief guest is here. I thought
he hasn't joined. I just call him. I was looking after in between. I just call him. So, you please carry on.
Manoj ji, can you just pull down the PowerPoint that you have it on the screen?
That is by Nilesh. Nilesh, please pull it down.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So the major part has been carried by the two learned speakers. I'll just show you what are the changes quickly that has been done in the IP agencies regulations, the IPA regulations. What I've done is that this amended regulations is available on the IBBI website. For this IPA, it is uploaded. 18.9, the recent one, the changes have been carried and it has been amended and it is duly uploaded on the website of IBBI. I have taken this from there. For the other one, insolvency professional regulations, the changes that has been done, the uploading of the latest one is still not there. So we've done some, we've done some work on that. We'll show you that a little later. But let me first take you through the insolvency professional agencies, the changes that has been done. Not many for that matter. And there is also a press release that has been given by the Insolvency and the Bankruptcy Board of India as to why these changes has been done. So it is done to bring more parity. It is done to bring in more clarity. And it is trying to make sure that the different regulations don't have different voices. It is all kind of talking in tandem. Those are the basic reasons. And it is also why these changes have been made. so as to have a better coordination between the IPA and the insolvency professional at large. So look at this process of enrollment as professional member. So this change has been brought in. And see, if you see the footnote, look at 14, the footnote. Substituted by notification number so-and-so. So the words before substitution stood as, I'm sure you're able to see, an individual or an IPE. So a lot of changes that you will see is also pertaining to this inclusion of IPE now to act as insolvency professionals. So the words before substitution. So what is it that we are going to see here? Process of enrollment as professional member. Okay. Now, what is it that it was saying? An individual or an IPE recognized by the board under Regulation 13 of Insolvency Professionals Regulations may apply for enrollment as a professional member by submitting an application in such form, in manner, and with such fees as specified by the agency. So now what the limited change that has been brought in is that they have put in what will be the format of application. So they have put in by submitting an application in part 1 of Form A and part 1 of Form AA respectively of the second schedule to insolvency professionals regulations. So therefore, this is the limited change. When we talk about Form A and Form AA, Form A is pertaining to an individual and Form AA is pertaining to the IPE. So that's one change that we need to know. Let's go to the next change. Look at this. The acceptance of the application shall be communicated to the applicant along with a certificate of membership in Form A. So now a time clause has been brought in. Now before, let's see before what it was. Inserted by so-and-so. So this has been inserted, not substituted, etc. So this has come up new. A timeline has been given within 60 days of the receipt of the application, excluding the time given for the purposes stated in clause 6. So the acceptance of the application shall be communicated to the applicant along with a certificate of membership in Form A, whatever. So now if you see 6, what is the 6? So excluding, what time has been excluded? The rejection of the application shall be communicated, stating the reasons for such rejection within 30 days of the receipt of the application, excluding the time given for removing the deficiencies or presenting additional documents or clarification by the agency as the case may be. So this is the second change that has been brought in. It's very good to actually sometimes just see directly from the regulations, because then we are, our eyes also just get set as to where to see what. We are almost towards the end of the regulation. If you see the scrolling of the pages, we are already at page 20 of 25. So let us now look at regulation number 29. The agency may refuse. So let us go to 53 first, footnote number 53. So it's a substitution. Substituted by notification number so-and-so. Before substitution, let's see what is it all about. Surrender of professional membership. So when you want to surrender. So what is it? So the agency, before it was substituted, what it was. Let's read the hitherto one. The agency may refuse to accept the surrender of membership by any professional member if there is any grievance or disciplinary proceeding pending against the professional member before the agency or the board. That goes without saying. Or the professional member has been appointed as a RP, liquidator of bankruptcy for a process, and the appointment of another IP may be detrimental to such process. Okay, now let's go and see what is the new thing. The agency may refuse to accept the surrender of membership by any professional member if there is any grievance or disciplinary proceeding pending against it before the agency or the board. Let's see what next. It does not comply with requirements as on the date of application for surrender with respect to payment of fee to the board. A disciplinary order issued by the agency of the board. Filings and disclosures to the agency and the board. So what it says, it does not comply with the requirements with regard to the disciplinary order. So let's not understand that if there is a disciplinary order, a person cannot surrender. That is not what it is saying. It is saying that if it does not complying with the requirements as on the date of application with respect to the disciplinary order. Filings and disclosures to the agency and the board, the arrangements made for the maintenance, preservation, and transfer of records and other documents required to be maintained under the relevant regulations, as we know, for 8 years, etc., and any other requirements as stipulated under the code, rules, etc., etc. It has been appointed as an interim, etc., may be detrimental to such process. So previously, what it was, it is still being kept. This point is being carried as it is. So basically, this is the point that has got inserted too. So the whole thing has been substituted. Now this is the last point, expulsion from, in terms of membership, this is the last point, expulsion from professional membership. A professional member shall be expelled by the agency. So this is, let's see what it is, 54. So this is also then substituted, okay? What it was before substitution is first interesting to see. If he becomes ineligible to be enrolled under bylaw 9, an expiry of 30 days from the order of disciplinary committee. So we are talking about expulsion from professional membership. Okay, we're talking about expulsion. Then upon non-payment of professional membership fee, despite 2 notices served in writing, upon the cancellation of its certificate, upon the order of any court of law. So now what it is, a professional member shall be expelled by the agency. It is about the agency. Why? Because we're talking about the changes brought in the IPA regulations. So therefore, it is talking of agency and not the board here. If it becomes ineligible on expiry of 30 days upon payment of, despite at least 2, upon the cancellation of its certificate of registration by the board. See, that's very important, okay? And then it says upon the order of any other court of law. So if you see, now this is the important thing. While expelling the professional member, the agency may take into account the factors provided in clause 29. So this is what it has been brought up. Okay, 29. The last point was not there in the earlier part. So this is the changes. I thought I'll quickly show you the other change. Just allow me to share screen for the IP changes. Just give me a minute. I hope you're able to see the screen. See, IP, just give me a moment. I'll adjust it well so that you're not facing any trouble to see it. Yes. Now it's sorted. Here, let me just enlarge it. Are you able to see the screen? It's double page, right? Just one minute.
Yeah, we can see it. Please carry on.
Just 1 minute. It's coming as double the page.
You have to increase the view to higher side. Yeah, this plus side you have to increase. Yeah, this above right side plus.
Yes, I'll do that. It's just going on a double page. Okay, now let me quickly take you through, and it's quite interesting. See this, this as I was mentioning, the amended one is not on the IBBI site. What we have done is, just for a better understanding, we have done the changes in track mode so as to make it a little convenient. I don't know, my scroll is just not working for a moment. 1 minute. Just give me a moment.
Yes, please do it comfortably, no problem.
Continuous scroll. Yeah, now I think I'll be able to do it. Yes. Okay.
In the meantime, I just take your privilege to introduce Mr. Mukherjee if you feel comfortable.
Yeah, I'm sorted. Let me just, I'll finish this up. Now, thank you, Manojji. I'll just take them through. I'm almost sorted.
Yeah, please carry on.
Sometimes, it just, yes. Now I have to just increase the size. Friends, are you able to see it now?
No, you have to share your screen.
Again, okay. Yes, 1 minute. Yeah, if you want to just give me a moment. I don't know why. IP regulations. Yeah, now I think I will be able to do it. Mukulji has come.
Yes.
Yeah. Mukulji, namaste.
Namaste, madam. Namaste.
Mukulji, can I take the liberty to just finish this?
Yes, sure. Why not? Please.
Thank you so much. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes. Now we can see it, please.
Okay. I'm sorry. Pardon me for this. Now, as I was mentioning, that the few changes that has been brought in, not so many, in insolvency professionals regulations, and you will not find it on the IBBI website. So just kindly just don't look for it as we are trying to show you in the screen. Qualifications and experience. Now, this, if you see, this subject to the other provisions of an individual shall be eligible for registration if he, the change that has been brought up, we have done it in red. बहुत छोटा दिख रहा है क्या मनोज जी?
नहीं, कोई बात नहीं, आप करिए, प्लीज करिए, थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है. हाँ, अब ठीक है, और बड़ा हो गया. Absolutely correct now. बिल्कुल ठीक है.
ठीक है, okay. So, as I was mentioning, so what are the change that has been brought up has been put in red. So, has completed a pre-registration educational course within, this has been added, within 12 months from the date of payment of the non-refundable application fee under Regulation 6. So this change has been brought up. We need to just be careful about that. This is quite an important change that has been brought out. Then let's go down. Now, just, I don't know what's wrong. The scroll is, if the moment I'm making it enlarged, the scroll is not working. So I'll have to just kind of maybe. Then there's an illustration too. So application for certificate of, let's see this change. Application for certificate of registration. Gentlemen, please see it on the screen. I know it's a little difficult, but I hope you'll be able to manage this. 6.1. See, this has been completely deleted. So what has been brought out is this one. And let me just, an individual enrolled with an insolvency professional agency as a professional member may make an application to the board through the agency of which he is a member in Part 2 of Form A. So what has been introduced here is the proper format, which was also there previously, but it is now Part 2 of Form A of the second schedule. If you see the one which has been cut by me, there the Part 2 is not mentioned. Okay, along with a non-refundable application fee of 20,000. So 20,000 remains 20,000. Then this 1A again has been cut off, and what has been introduced is again this Part 2. So not many changes, just that, Part 2 has changed. Part 2 has been introduced of Form AA. Otherwise, the fee, etc., all remains the same. Then it goes on. If you see 6.2, it was previously the board. Now it has become insolvency professional agency. So that's an important change that has come. The IPA shall acknowledge an application made under this regulation within 7 days of its receipt. And then this is a change that has come. The insolvency professional agency shall verify and forward the application to the board. So now the verification has to be done by the IPA and it has to be forwarded to the board within 30 days from the date of payment of fee, etc. So this is an important change which has come. Then if you see, let's see, certificate of registration. 7. If the board is satisfied after such inspection that the applicant is eligible under these regulations, it may grant a certificate of registration to the applicant so and so within 60 days ki jagah, this has been made 30 days. So this is another change which we have first cut off as 60 and we've introduced to say it is 30 days. So this is, I'll share this with the president, Mr. Manoj Anand, and we can circulate this. So refusal to grant certification, also the communication shall be made to the applicant within 45 days. So now it has been made 30 days. So timelines have become more stringent, better. Now, if you see issue and surrender of authorization for assignment of and for disciplinary proceedings, this is the word that we don't really like. But nonetheless, let's just talk about it. So an insolvency professional agency shall inform the board when it accepts the application for surrender of membership and strikes the name of the professional member from its register. So this activity has been now been given to the IPA, and IPA has to then inform, expels the professional member, expels the professional member, or receives intimation of demise or winding up or dissolution of the company, because IPE, so limited liability partnership or registered partnership firm, and strikes the name from its registers. So this all has to be also done by the insolvency professional agency, which was hitherto only ABCD. Now EFG has been added. Friends, try to get the hang of what are the changes. You need not know each and every detail today. It's important that something just reaches your ears so that you may recollect, acha, IPA ke program mein, NCLT Kolkata Bar ke program mein ye suna tha. So now it's important for me to look at it. This is what the objective of any seminar, as I understand, when my seniors used to teach me, they used to always tell me, don't look for the minutest details. Look for resonation of that word in your ears so that you are aware that something has happened. And before you embark on the journey of CIRP, or for that matter, any other assignment as an insolvency professional, you actually have that stoppage in your mind that you need to look first. So the board shall take note of the information received under sub-regulation 1, what the IP has given, and for cases referred to an EFG, that it may, if it deems expedient to do so, proceed in accordance with regulation 10B. So that I'll show you. So this is 10B. Okay, a lot of these changes have been brought in. So what is it? Surrender for certificate of registration. An insolvency professional may surrender its certificate of registration by making a request to the board in writing along with the certificate of registration in original. If the board is satisfied, then it may accept the surrender, and on from the date of cancellation of surrender of registration, the concerned person shall not represent itself to be the holder of the certificate for carrying out the activity. So what they have done is they have just brought it out very, very vividly in the regulation. If you see the press release, it also says that it's very important, that is there in black and white, and it is available for everyone to read so that there is no interpretational issues. So special procedure for action on surrender and expulsion. So again, it says that while disposing of the matter, the board shall not be bound, and it talks about what are the special procedure that it needs to take when surrender or expulsion will happen. Then the second schedule, the form has been, the form has been reworked. Okay, and the reworked form also, we have put it there. Form A, part 1. As I was telling you, part 1 has been. So what we have done is we have just removed that entire form and we have shown you how the new form looks. And if you recollect, see, this part 1 is there. Okay, so this is to be submitted by the applicant. And similarly, there is this part 2, as we were mentioning, for the for enrollment of the IPE. Okay, and then there's this part 3. This is for the this is to be submitted by the agency to the board. So this we have, scratched through the old one. And form AA is the unified enrollment and the registration application form. So they have made it one. There were 2 separate forms. Now they have unified both the forms. So it is more with regard to the procedure. The changes are more with regard to the procedure. So that is what I had to say. Thank you very much for giving me this patient hearing. And I'm sure you have been able to get a overview of the changes. Of course, the CIRP regulation, we've got on it in details. And the other 2, we've tried to show you in the regulations itself that where are the changes and what are the changes. So nothing that really should be disturbing us as such in our day-to-day functioning. Thank Thank you very much. So I now request Manoj ji to kindly introduce Mukul Sahai ji. He's a very respectable man, and he's a person with a very big heart, if I may say so, because whenever IPA and agency, and professional forums like ours calls him, he's always making himself available. So thank you so much, Mukul ji, for your precious time. I'll request Mr. Manoj Anand to take this forward.
Mamta ji, can you stop your screen share, please?
Yes, I will do that immediately.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Mamta ji, आप अभी कह रहे थे कि when I used to listen from the seniors, तो आप तो first IP professional हैं, आपसे senior तो कोई हो ही नहीं
नहीं
सकता.
सर, ये तो मेरे को बहुत आगे जाना है. मैं तो बहुत junior हूँ. I'm just learning.
But you have the privilege of handling first IBC case. You have the privilege of being the first insolvency professional. This is a big achievement, and even आपके जब पोते दोते नोते होंगे ना, आप उनको भी बताना कि I was the first insolvency professional in the whole world. In any case, that is there. We welcome Mukul ji. Sir, आपने अपने इतने busy schedule के अंदर time निकाला हमारे लिए. We are really thankful that you taken a time for this thing. And as far as Mukul ji is concerned, he is a very, very renowned personality as far as banking sector is concerned. इनकी introduction कोई देने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. But even then, I thought of giving a little bit of his introduction. He joined as PO in the year 1993, and at present is holding a very, very senior position in PNB. No, he joined in the OBC, and OBC got merged with the PNB. Now he is a general manager there. Stress asset management, SAM का ये general manager है. He is a renowned banker not only in Delhi but in his Amritsar circle also, looking after recovery of resolution portfolio. He worked in operations, credit recovery at many other places all over India, including Gujarat, MP, Haryana, Punjab, and most of the all parts of the country. Mukul ji, please have few words and say something to us as far as this deliberation is concerned.
Yes,
please,
thank you,
Mukul ji.
Manoj ji.
Welcome.
And thank you, Mamta ji, for inviting me to this August gathering. It has always been honor for me to share this program with you. Today, I'm really sorry I could not make it on time due to my other meetings were in progress. But one thing I would like to say that this group is really very vibrant group. And as a banker, each time we learn a lot from the deliberations taking place in this group. We also go through this YouTube channel and take benefit out of the deliberations. So in the changing scenario, in particular for our vertical, for my job role, it is very important for me to regularly participate or learn from such type of deliberations for the larger interest of bank and for myself also, so that I may discharge my duty in a more proficient and more effective manner. So under the circumstances, really, I'm looking forward to attend such type of webinar in the future also, though I could not make it on time today. But Manoj ji, really, I'm thankful to you that you just invited me to this program, and I'm looking forward to participate in such type of programs also, because it enriches our job knowledge, and it really helps us a lot in discharging our day-to-day functioning. We all know that this IBC and rules and regulations, which are means changing very rapidly. So we have to really update, keep ourselves updated on almost daily basis. So with this changing scenario, it's really important for all of us, and particularly for me, that we be in touch with the changes which are taking place on day-to-day basis. So I'm really thankful to, once again, I'm thankful to each one of you, and in particular to Manoj ji for inviting me to this program. I'm looking forward to be part of such type of program in future also. So thank you very much, Manoj ji.
Thank you, Mukesh ji. Thank you very much. चलिए, आपकी जो छोटी मोटी आज एब्सेंट थी, इसको हम फिल इन द गैप करेंगे फ्यूचर प्रोग्राम्स में. आपके हिसाब से टाइम लेके, because actually some fault was lying on us. We were having a very short notice, and in that short notice we requested him, and he honored our request and tried to accommodate to the maximum possible extent. Mukul ji, thank you very much for being participated. मेरे को
Thank
दो बातें और करनी है. We
जी.
already exceeded our time.
Yeah.
One thing is that along with Mukul ji, I'm really thankful to Shamsher Singh ji also, S.M. Gupta ji also,
Thank you,
Dr. Abhiman ji also, Hemant ji also, and Shiv Nandan Sharma ji also, who has been quite regular participant in our all the programs, and Rakesh Kumar Jain ji also, and all these things do encourages us, and we request all of you to remain participating with us. अब एक थोड़ी सी बात और ये बात आ रही थी कि जैसे हम लोग वेबिनार्स वगैरह करते हैं, तो मैं और ममता जी और नीलेश जी काफी फ्रिक्वेंटली बहुत सारे आईपीएस की प्रॉब्लम के लिए फोन्स वगैरह भी सुनते रहते हैं कि बेसिकली किसी के अगेंस्ट डीसी प्रोसीडिंग स्टार्ट हो गई, या किसी के अगेंस्ट कोई सीओसी में कुछ थोड़ा सा परेशान हो गया, कुछ हो गया. तो इन एनी केस, इन टोटलिटी हमारा जो आईपी का जॉब है बड़ा चैलेंजिंग है, और मेनी अ टाइम इस चैलेंजेस को शायद हम लोग आपस में एक इलेक्ट्रॉनिक प्लेटफॉर्म के ऊपर शायद नहीं डिस्कस कर सकते. और इस चीज को ओवरकम करने के लिए वी थॉट ऑफ, आवर मैनेजिंग कमेटी थॉट ऑफ, मी, ममता जी एंड अदर पीपल थॉट ऑफ, लेट्स हैव ए फिजिकल मीटिंग आल्सो. तो हमने ऑर्गेनाइज करा कि फिजिकल मीटिंग को हम कैसे करें. तो फिजिकल मीटिंग करने के लिए वी कोलैबोरेटेड विद यस बैंक, एंड we intend to hold physical meeting in Delhi on 14th of October. It will be, they have their sector 16 नोएडा में उनका कोई एक सेंटर है जहां पे हम लोग फिजिकल मीटिंग करेंगे. ऑब्जेक्टिव इस फिजिकल मीटिंग का ये है कि हम लोगों की बहुत सारी ऐसी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं और उनके प्रैक्टिकल सॉल्यूशंस भी हैं. Our experienced IPs can share their practical solutions also. जैसा कि ममता जी ने अपने डेलीब्रेशन में कहा, हमारे नीलेश जी ने तो आज से 6-7 साल पहले ही आईपी का काम नहीं शुरू करा था. वो तो जब से सीए बने हैं, यानी कि पिछले 30-35 साल से ही ये रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग का काम कर रहे हैं. तो उसके अंदर हम सब लोग आपस में मिलेंगे, अपनी प्रॉब्लम्स को डिस्कस करेंगे और उनको शेयर भी करेंगे. तो आई एम गिविंग यू दिस थिंग एटलीस्ट 20 more than 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks ago. तो आप प्लीज इस समय शाम को, ये हमारा आफ्टर लंच का प्रोग्राम होगा 14 अक्टूबर को, सैटरडे को, दिल्ली के अंदर. और जैसे ही हमारी इस प्रोग्राम की सक्सेस के ऊपर फिर हम लोग वी इंटेंड टू डू द सेम प्रोग्राम इन Calcutta also, and Mumbai also. That is also being planned. So do keep yourselves prepared for this particular program. At least people sitting in the, staying in the NCR, they must stay there. With this word, मुकुल जी को स्पेशल थैंक यू करते हुए, और ममता जी की तरफ से, मेरी तरफ से, नीलेश जी की तरफ से, ऑल पार्टिसिपेंट्स को thank you very much for encouraging us and being participating in the meeting. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
With this, I'm closing the meeting, please.
Yes, okay.